The following is a presentation of BFA Sports. Game 1 of the South Jersey South Shore Baseball League Championship Series. Best of 5 between the Margate City Hurricanes, the top seed, and the number 3 seeded Northfield Cardinals. Hello, everybody. I am Vin Abdu, joined alongside Doug Stasic here as we present you this exciting championship series this week. The best of 5 starting tonight in Margate City. Cardinals, Hurricanes. Doug, it's not just 1 versus 3. It is a bitter rivalry.
Hey, it's been decades in the making, as we'll call it. So we know that the South Jersey South Shore League now in its third year, but certainly for the Atlantic County Baseball League fans, history, well, it has a tendency to repeat itself. These two teams are very familiar foes, we'll call it. Some would even dub a bit of frenemies, I guess, if you want to call it that. But in all sincerity, listen, it's bragging rights that are on the line. We've had tremendous baseball all season long in the South Jersey South Shore Baseball League, and now it comes down to, a 5-game series. And what's going to make it really interesting is that a lot of these guys have rivalries in their own right and familiarity with each other going back to their high school days. Some have carried it into college, and now even some guys from a graduation standpoint, certainly for manager and player Jason Law, the number 1 seeded Margate Hurricanes, a lot of familiarity with Joe Bunting, the manager of the Northfield Cardinals. And, these guys have, gone back and forth and having some good exchanges. Everybody's excited to play this game, some for more reasons than others. But nonetheless, I'm looking for an entertaining series, man.
Motivation can come from all sorts of things, whether it's taking place on the field, it's a previous history of things either on or off the field. But you know what, Doug, Northfield really took fire in the playoffs. They were jostling for position with the South Jersey Surf that last week of the season. Tough loss to the Surf. And then Northfield really took off in the playoffs, and they have a heap of talent on their roster capable of putting up enough runs. They have some good pitching and good defense, and they're certainly capable of winning this championship series. I mean, certainly you see it as a 3 versus 1 and a possible upset, but in some ways Northfield could very well be evenly matched with Margate.
Yeah, Northfield has rallied. They found some really good pitching as of late. They're going to go to the youngster, Evan Biddle. We'll take a look at tonight's pitching matchup. And on the hill for the Northfield Cardinals, it will be Evan Biddle. Comes in with a 4-1 record as a starter, 3.79 ERA, 24 Ks to go with the 17 walks. And he's going to face a beast on the mound, and that's in Jake Kinzel, arguably one of the South Jersey South Shore Baseball League's best. 7-1 record, a 1.96 ERA, 77 Ks. And, of course, today's broadcast brought to you by our friends at the Bunting Family Pharmacy, where they bring the pharmacy home to you. And I guess it's time to look at tonight's starting lineups. First, Vin, for the visitors of Northfield.
Let's check out those Cardinals. Leading things off for the number 3 seeded Northfield Cardinals, Justin Epifanio at shortstop, followed by Brett Ewing and Chase Swain. In the middle, it's Juan Mejia doing the DH duties tonight, followed by Nate Turner, Yohan Feliz, Gavin Shapiro. And then bottom of the order for Northfield, Justin Klemick, and center C.J. Brown is the extra hitter. And he'll be followed up by Anthony Rackets, rounding out the order for Joe Bunting's Northfield Cardinals.
And backing up Jake Kinzel defensively for the Margate Hurricanes.
We'll start out in left field. Dylan Mendel in left. Sam Daggers is in center. Eric Fitzgerald covers the ground in right field. In the infield, Jimmy Pasquale at third. Brody Levin at shortstop. Nolan Charlton over at second base. Jason Law does the first base duties tonight. Donnie Stone will be catching Jake Kinzel tonight. And for Jason Law's Margate Hurricane squad, should be an exciting 5-game stretch. So tonight in Margate, games 2 and 3 set to take place are over at Birch Grove Park in Northfield, and then back here for games 4 and 5 if needed later in the week here in Margate City. Got beautiful weather, sunshine cascading over home plate right now, right on our faces, Doug. And Well, at least we could see the plate, so hopefully the sun is all good to go. And you know what? 76 degrees compared to what we were all facing last week. That's a reprieve. So beautiful weather, nice little breeze, 11 miles an hour, not too bad, partly cloudy, and it should be perfect weather for baseball tonight in Margate.
Yeah, sure beats the heat that some of us sat through over the weekend. We were up on the campus of Arcadia University for a 8-team college showcase, 125 different roster players. You were a big part of that, and quite candidly, that's what this league is all about, right? So you have upper echelon high school players that are looking for an opportunity to get to the next level. And then you have a lot of current rostered college players that instead of having to go down to the Carolinas, Virginia, or go north, they get a chance to play local right here. And a lot of that is thanks to the generosity of the manager of the Northfield Cardinals, Mr. Joe Bunting, and the Bunting Family Pharmacy, as they are the main sponsors of the league. And we're going to see quite a few of these players showcasing in their own right tonight, and it looks like we are finally ready for first pitch.
Kinzel's finished his warm-ups. Justin Epifanio stepping up to the plate, and the shortstop for the Cardinals in the box and ready to rock and roll here in Margate City. First pitch hits him in the back, and we are underway.
Well, that's an interesting way to get the party started. Kinzel up and in on that one, and Justin Epifanio, I don't think he was expecting to get a temporary tattoo tonight, but he may have one.
You know, he brushed it off right away, clapped his hands. He's like, that didn't hurt. Here's Brett Ewing. So, man, already aboard for Northfield. Pitch. Rocketed upstairs and foul behind the screen.
Yeah, Kinzel has heat. He definitely sits in the 90s. He brings it. He's consistent. We've seen him go north of 110 pitches, so he's a pitcher that can go long. Cardinals are going to need to try to work a count early.
Already going after Kinzel early in the count. That one popped up in the air. Third base in fair territory, and it drops for an infield hit. And caught off guard was Epifanio, thinking that the catch would be made by the third baseman Pasquale. So the Margate Hurricanes do get the first out of the inning. The lead man over at second base. So Ewing takes the place of Epifanio at first base as Chase Swain steps up to the plate.
Yeah, tough spot to be in over there for Jimmy Pasquale. The wind is definitely blowing off the ocean. Anything that's high in the infield, it's going to have movement.
And that one clips the outside corner, 0-1 to Chase Swain, playing third base tonight for the Cardinals. Important for Northfield to try and go after Kinzel early in the game. The 0-1 to Swain. Pops in there, but just misses off the plate, 1-1. Hey, Doug, the acoustics are great. Just hearing Kinzel's fastball pop.
Yeah, we got a field mic next to the backstop tonight, so you're going to hear a lot of things.
And that one dusts Swain off the plate. He's got to bounce out of the way. It's 2-1. So Kinzel, Doug, showing that he's not afraid to go inside on Northfield.
Yeah, Northfield has a little bit of a youth movement on the roster, and it's interesting. You know, you talk to some of these guys, Swain being a graduate of Woodstown High School. They don't have the old, the history of the old school rivalry between Northfield and Margate, and why some of these guys get a little bit fired up more so than others. So they get to kind of put their heads down and just play ball. But they all said, we're pretty excited to be a part of it because we've heard a lot. And Swain would be one of them, one of the best infielders in the league.
He's got a 3-1 count here. Ewing staying put. There's ball 4. So Ewing will trot down to second base. Swain to first, time called. As Juan Mejia steps up to the plate, and Donnie Stone wants a word with Kinzel on the mound.
Well, good time to talk it over as the big man, Juan Mejia, comes to the plate. 292 batting average to go to 364 on-base percentage. He actually leads the team over there with 16 RBI.
He's got some sneaky power, too. Just seeing him in the last couple of years of this summer league, Mejia's got some pop to his bat. First and second, one out for Northfield. Fastball in there for strike one in the outside corner. Mejia can play a good first base. He's DHing in game one tonight, but he could certainly pick it over at first.
Yeah, he's been the staple of the Northfield Cardinals lineup for the last 3+ summers.
Runner's going. Pitch upstairs, throw down to third, and A's out. Ewing thrown out, trying to swipe third.
Well, went on first movement. You get a chance to look at it here on the Gamechanger instant replay. I'm not really quite sure if he had enough of a secondary lead. And Donnie Stone with the nastiness on the line. Pasquale makes the tag. And that's a second out of the inning. Caught stealing.
We'll see if how that ends up turning out for the Northfield Cardinals. Now just a runner on first as Swain stayed put. Time called on the field. And a 1-1 count on Juan Mejia. Swain staying put as that pitch is upstairs on Mejia.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Just underway here, top of the first in game one. Kinzel staring in. Runners going. Mejia rockets it into right field. That's a base hit and a hit and run for the Cardinals. Ewing dashing, check that, Swain dashing over to third. Now it's first and third, 2 outs for the Cardinals following this single by Mejia.
Well executed hit and run by the big man. Going to be interesting now with 2 outs with him being in the designated hitter position. One thing Mejia is not known for would be his speed. So with 2 outs here, big opportunity for Nate Turner to cash in perhaps the first run of this contest.
And a small backstop, so not much room for Mejia to dash to second there. That one's inside to Turner. Or for Swain to score, the ball would have to... There's a lot of foul territory up and down the first and third base lines, but that's about it. The 1-0 offering. Clips the inside corner right at the knees, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, field looks to be in really good shape. That mound, it does look like Kinzel is sliding down it just a little bit. So I'm wondering if it's got a little bit extra moisture. And it was a nasty storm that blew through over the weekend.
Yeah. First and third, 2 away for the Cardinals. Pitch. Check swing there. Did he go around?
They say he did. That was a nasty breaking pitch. There's a look at Mejia over at first. And you have the other at third. So Swain, 90 feet away from scoring the first run.
Cardinals have had a couple opportunities slip away so far in this top of the first. Let's see if Turner can cash in. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Kinzel works into and out of trouble here in the top of the first. And the Hurricanes coming to bat in the bottom half. To the bottom of the first we go. Evan Biddle warming up for the Northfield Cardinals, dueling Kinzel on the opposition for Margate. Check out the Margate Hurricanes starting lineup that'll be going up against Evan Biddle tonight. Nolan Charlton, the second baseman, will lead things off for the Hurricanes tonight, followed up by Monty Strickland will be the extra hitter. Eric Fitzgerald. Cleaning things up is Chris Knott at DH, Jason Law, Jim Pasquale, Brody Levin, and at the bottom of the order, Sam Daggers, Dylan Mendel, And Donnie Stone for Jason Law's Margate Hurricanes. Out in the field for Northfield, we've got Anthony Rackets in left, Justin Klemick in center, Johan Feliz over and right in the infield, Chase Swain at third, Justin Epifanio at short, Brett Ewing at second, Nathan Turner at first, and doing the catching tonight is Gavin Shapiro.
Nolan Charlton leading things off. He's got a pretty good regiment. He very much focuses on his hydration, both post and pre-game. So
there we go.
I'm sure he's ready to go.
The 0-1 upstairs. All the Gatorade and water or energy drinks. I mean, whatever gets you fired up.
That's it.
The 1-1. This is inside. It's a much anticipated championship series here between Margate and Northfield. Again, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, a couple bitter rivals. The pitch. Breaking ball misses upstairs, 3-1.
Charlton works himself into the hitter's count, 339 batting average, 507 is his on-base percentage.
Biddle looking to get back in the count, twist Charlton around, and he gets a leadoff walk here in the first.
Charlton will set the table for the Margate Hurricanes here at the top of the lineup.
See how aggressive Margate gets on the base paths with Charlton there. Strickland now the hitter. Biddle delivers. Pop foul to the screen behind the plate. Quickly 0-1. Charlton out to a slight lead over there at first. Biddle's keeping an eye on him. Turns his attention back toward Strickland. The 0-1 is swung on and missed.
A good mix of pitches here by Evan Biddle, headed to NJIT. Of course, he spends a lot of his summers working out with Harry Rodriguez and the crew at Heavy Hitters.
There you go.
To quite a few of the Northfield Cardinals.
The 0-2 bounces in the dirt. Charlton will get to second without a throw. It's a small backstop, but it was enough for Charlton to run on down there. Shapiro did get to it as quick as he could. Now a runner in scoring position with Margate. Infield coming in a little bit. The 1-2. Hot shot high in the air into left center. Coming over to make the catch throw number 1 is Rackets. And a big first out.
Anthony Rackets, the Violin High School now alum. He's headed to Newman University. Play baseball for the Knights. Monty Strickland. That's a big out. He's a guy that has swiped quite a few bases for the Margate Hurricanes, and being able to keep that speed off the field is a win if you're the Northfield Cardinals.
Bimble able to induce the fly out. Now Eric Fitzgerald, the hitter. Charlton staying put as that one crosses the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, when you look at the lineup for the Hurricanes, a bit more experience in these high-leverage playoff scenarios. It's a big series. A lot of these guys have battled here before.
That one swung on a miss. Breaking ball dancing away, and it's 0-2.
So you got to think if there's a little bit of an advantage there for the Hurricanes over the Cardinals, at least early on. I mean, once some of these youngsters get settled in, baseball is baseball, but for the time being, it'll be interesting to see as this game goes on how some of these at-bats play out.
The 0-2 popped up, dipping into foul territory, drifting back into fair territory. Catch made in fair territory by Chase Swain. And 2 quick and big outs for Evan Biddle and company.
Yeah, hey, good fundamental baseball, right? These two guys played a lot of ball in the summer, and that's between Swain and the pitcher, Evan Biddle. So as Swain got pulled off the bag, Biddle rotates over as the pitcher to make sure third base is covered. So Nolan Charlton wasn't able to swipe a bag.
That'll bring up the DH, Chris Knott. Cleaning things up today for Margate. Charlton off second with 2 away. Swing and a miss. Took the strings out of that one. Did not, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, good mix of location here. And again, the battery tonight, right? Gavin Shapiro behind the dish from Millville has called Evan Biddle quite a bit over the last few summers when they played for heavy hitters.
Some familiarity. Biddle turning his attention to Charlton. Back toward the plate and a broken bat. Fly ball into right. And Biddle works into and out of a little bit of trouble there as Feliz makes the catch. No score in game one of this championship series after 1 inning of play.
Serving the community since 2008, the Bunting Family Pharmacy, located in Northfield, aims to provide a wide variety of compounded and traditional medications to doctors and patients in Atlantic, Cape May, and the surrounding South Jersey counties. We are staffed by 4 New Jersey board-certified technicians and a fleet of delivery drivers servicing both residential and business customers 6 days a week.
The Bunting Family Pharmacy. We bring the pharmacy home to you.
Give us a call or visit us at buntingfamilypharmacy.com.
Top of the second inning we go. An interesting first, but a scoreless first. As Evan Kinzel wraps up. Check that. Jake Kinzel wraps up his warm-up pitches, opposed by Evan Biddle. Middle of the order for the Cardinals. They threatened but did not score in the first. It'll be Yohan Feliz, followed by Gavin Shapiro and Justin Klimek here in the top of the second inning.
Well, that man, Yohan Feliz out of Vineland High. Cardinals facing elimination in.
That one hit in the air, right field, and foul territory.
Actually, I should say they're up against it in game 2 against South Jersey Surf. They're down 3-0 late in the contest. Comes up with a 3-run bomb, Oppo. So this young man has power way beyond his years.
And the 0-1 takes a strike on the outside corner.
Of course, playing baseball over there in Vineland High for Coach Kyle Jones. Sure he's tuning in tonight.
Kinzel working quickly here to start things in the second. Deals the 0-2. That one swung on and missed for out number 1.
Gets Feliz on the strikeout there. Good look at Kinzel. Confidence. Kind of pauses at the bottom of the delivery. And that one's just out of the reach. Low and away. A little bit of speed there.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Kinzel dating back to the first inning. Here's Shapiro. Swing and a miss. He's got that ball moving off the outer half.
Yeah, catcher Donnie Stone seems to be pretty happy with trying to set these guys up, especially the younger ones, bottom half of the lineup, low and away.
Kinzel rockets and fires just off the plate. It's 1-1.
Yeah, you got to be careful of the setup here because a lot of times trying to go way to set them up to come back in late in the count.
The 1-1 hit foul off the top of the fencing above home plate, and it's 1-2. Kinzel's definitely got the fastball. Now he's just looking to where he wants to go with location, which could throw the Northfield hitters off.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Kinzel was fired up to get the first inning started. You got to think that adrenaline was pumping, and now he seems to be a bit more dialed in to start the second.
Hit foul. Fair down the first base line. It was flirting with the foul line there, and it's a base hit for Shapiro.
Oh, you see it on the Gamechanger instant replay. Player manager Jason Law tries to go back, not as limber perhaps as he once was, but a good effort nonetheless. But like a soft pitching wedge, able to find some grass there.
And a pinch runner for the catcher Shapiro.
So we go with the last batted out, and Yohan Feliz. He is a speedster.
And Justin Klimek, the hitter. Feliz staying put as Klimek looks at a ball inside. Once again, the Cardinals got a man aboard. They got a couple aboard in the first inning. Unable to plate the run. Feliz leaning towards second, but staying put at the moment. Here's the 1-0. Chop to short. Charlton will go the short way to first. Runner advances to second, and Feliz nearly stranded a little too far. But he stays put at second on the safe call. Now 2 away, though, as Klimek grounds out. And that'll bring up C.J. Brown, the extra hitter.
C.J. Brown comes in, does a lot of good, as I like to say, dirty work, right? Tries to work the count, try to get things going on the pitcher, plays small ball when he needs to. He's a tough out.
Charlton playing behind the runner Feliz over there at short. Take that, Brody Levin. Levin keeping an eye on Feliz while Charlton communicates with Levin as to what they want to do, both playing near the middle. In at third base. Pitch to Brown, swing and a miss. And it's an 0-2 count. Jason Law playing back at first, and dancing over at third is Jim Pasquale. Just going back and forth between the lip of the infield grass and his normal depth. As Feliz, the pinch runner, dances off a second. It'll be an 0-2 to Brown. Pitch. Called strike 3 in the inning is over.
Nasty pitch by Kinzel to close out the frame.
Go to the bottom of the second. Margate ready to hit on offense. Bottom of the second we go. Jason Law, player manager, will lead things off for the Hurricanes here in the second. Will be followed by Jim Pasquale and Brody Levin as the Hurricanes looking to get something cooking. Hurricanes had the leadoff walk to Charlton in the first, and then 3 straight pop-outs or fly-outs. So Law looking to get the Margate offense ignited.
Yeah, Law is keeping it going. Put together a couple nice at-bats in the playoffs, squaring up to lead the Margate offense. And has seated himself right here in the 5 spots, right in the middle of that power alley. He's got a 357 on-base percentage.
So far, so good for Evan Biddle and the Cardinals defense. Pitch. Gets Law with strike 1. And the 0-1, the breaking ball misses a little bit upstairs to even the count.
Law spends a lot of time all year long teaching the youth fundamentals of hitting, helping them become better ball players.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Of course, a few summers there, he used to suit up for the Atlantic City Surf.
Ah. Count even at 2 apiece now on Law. As Biddle steps off. And the 2-2. Chop to first base. Down the line, it is fair. Race to the bag now, and Law is out as Turner recovers and runs over the bag for out number 1.
Yeah, Law just shot out of a cannon, out of the batter's box, trying to get down to the first base side. But big-time defense down there to be able to convert for the ground out.
And the race was on, Turner versus Law. Biddle seems dialed in so far, and that certainly could prove beneficial in multiple ways for the Cardinals. Here's Jim Pasquale and looks at a pitch upstairs, 1-0. Biddle gets the sign. Misses outside, 2-0. You can do some weak contact off the bat of Law and a couple batters in the first. I'll tell you, the ball Monty Strickland hit out to left center and a fly out, second at bat of the game. It was a hard hit ball. Just didn't have the distance. Pitch, swing and a miss. And it's 2-1 now on Pasquale. Levin up next. Biddle working quickly. Misses low. And for the second time in the game, he's got himself in a 3-1 count. Last time he walked Charlton to start things in the first. Swing and a miss. Powers a fastball, diving away. It's a full count.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Biddle shakes off Shapiro 3 times now and gets what he wants. Full count pitch, misses outside and a walk. So the Hurricanes have a man aboard with 1 gone here in the bottom of the second, bringing up the shortstop, Brody Levin.
You know, Pasquale showing that patience there, really interesting. Leads the Margate squad with 28 hits.
Wow.
So that is another tough out, but very methodical his approach. 570 on base percentage. No surprise he ends up at first base.
Staying put, and that one's rattled off the top fencing above home plate. 0-1.
You talk about the depth too of some of these teams' lineup. So here's Brody Levin. He's batting in the 7th spot. Of course, former star at Mainland Regional and Hartford down in Aberdeen, Maryland. From a college standpoint, he's wearing his Al's helmet. But he just announced he's headed to the University of Rhode Island. So again, it's another example of how this league and exposure can really help players be seen.
No one misses outside. Yeah, some top talent down in this area going on to the big colleges and beyond.
Yes, former coach, one of his former coaches, Mike Edwards, is in the house today from Mainland. I know he's over there. And head coach of Mainland, Billy Kern, I know he's always watching.
That one fouled off. We'll do it again at 1-2.
Of course, Mainland Mustangs, very familiar with them. As we look forward every year doing the Coaches versus Cancer. Talk about giving back to the community. That's a big pillar of the South Jersey South Shore Baseball League. So, like Mainland, do the Coaches versus Cancer event.
Called strike 3, and Levin down looking for out number 2.
Well, that is just nastiness from Evan Biddle to get him looking there. Check it out on the Gamechanger instant replay. Look it in. Good movement. And he thought it was going to land high, but it just broke the last 2 feet right through the zone.
Some nice 12-6 action there. Here's Sam Daggers. Just 2 walks that Evan Biddle's given up. 1 in the first and 1 here in the second inning. Pitch. Hit off the catcher, Shapiro, and umpire will give him a minute to recover there. It's 0-1.
Yeah, we're right up against the backside. It was close quarters, and that was loud off the shin guard there of Gavin Shapiro. He seems to be A-OK. And the umpire giving the old courtesy walk to the mound. But getting back to the community service project, talk about Levin, the Levin family, his younger brother plays still for Mainland. Shout out to those guys. And South Jersey South Shore Baseball League has been a part of that as sponsors over the last couple of years, along with, Joe Bunting and his company, the Bunting Family Pharmacy. And the one common thread.
Well, check swing, and you went around, so it's 0-2 on Daggers.
Common thread is to give back, right? And Northfield just spent, I think it was last weekend, 14 local baseball and softball coaches come in to give the kids a free clinic.
Oh, wow.
Every
That's
team's
awesome.
required to do a community service project.
Swing and a miss. And Biddle powers a fastball by Daggers. gets out of a mini jam, just allows the one walk here in the second inning. We are scoreless as we go to the third in game one. Top of the third, we are entering. Anthony Rackett to lead things off for the Cardinals, and then back to the top of the order with Justin Epifanio and Brett Ewing against Jake Kinzel, who's worked into and out of a little bit of trouble. No runs across for either side, no hits for Margate through 2 innings. As Evan Battle has matched his counterpart in this game one matchup.
Anthony Rackett's the Vineland High alum. He's a guy that spent a lot of time at the top of that Vineland High batting order. So being here towards the bottom with a bunch of more experienced guys just getting in this lineup is saying something. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived because you're going to come back and try to pump fastballs past this kid, and it might not go well for you.
Opportunity to get something rolling for the Cardinals here in the third. The 1-0 hit foul off the facing of the screen to the third base side of home plate. And 1-1 the count now, and the Cardinals left fielder.
Another player wearing his old Heavy Hitters 4 helmet.
Oh, yeah. The 1-1 misses outside in the other batter's box. It's 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
It'll be a 2-1. Swing and a miss. As Rackett swings on top of a fastball low in the zone, it's 2-2. Kinzel's got 3 strikeouts so far, just giving up 2 hits and a walk. Hit by a pitch as well. Here's the 2-2. Called strike 3. Rackett's down looking for out number 1.
Yeah, Kinzel locked in. I mean, just kind of look at it here. Gamechanger instant replay. It's like a real estate commercial. Location, location, location.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is, just runs back in. I think he was expecting to go a little bit farther away.
It's got one of those like game faces on right now.
Yeah.
He's dialed in. Here's Epifanio hit by a pitch with the first pitch of the game back in the first as that one hits off the dirt.
Yeah, you can almost kind of see that there's a little bit of a different approach to this lineup as they're throwing out here. So a little bit more off speed towards the top of the lineup and a little bit more power at the bottom. Kind of an interesting approach, but it seems like that's the way it's playing out.
That one driven over to second base, and Charlton fires over. And there's quickly 2 away here in the third.
Yeah, Charlton accustomed to picking up many things off of this field, especially as of late, taking a lot of reps, so no problem picking up that baseball.
Yeah, seem prepared. A lot of hard contact coming off the bat of the Northfield so far. Here's Brett Ewing singled in the first. Advanced the second, was later caught trying to steal third base. That one misses down. A lot of movement on the pitches of Jake Kinzel so far. Some backdoor action heading across the plate, trying to mix things up, and he's got that power fastball to mix, and he just threw it right there to Ewing. 0-2 now on the Cardinals' second baseman, as Kinzel looks to retire the side in order. The delivery misses outside, just off the plate, and Ewing gets another shot at it here. Pitch. There's strike 2. So now it's 2-2.
Yeah, Brett Ewing looking back towards the home plate umpire wasn't really in agreement with that call there.
Kinzel working quickly here in his delivery. The pitch. Rocketed down the left field line. Fair ball. Rounding first, heading towards, and he'll stay right there. He had thoughts and goals and dreams of heading to second base, but he thought better of it. He's going to stay put with a 2-out single.
Yeah, Jimmy Pasquale, the third baseman, he got on his horse in a hurry over into the corner to be able to, break down this potential double, but it went right off the bag. But again, Pasquale, I mentioned Nolan Charlton, 2 former Holy Spirit Spartans. That their guy Steve Normain, the head coach of the Spartans and the athletic director, he's proudly watching 2 of those Spartans go to work.
Here's Chase Swain, walked in the first, later advanced over to third. Calls time here, wants a second to think things over. Kinzel taking a little too long for his liking.
Yeah, and for Pasquale playing the corner, he's usually accustomed to playing over first base for Iona. So he's in the hot corner in Summer League.
Rocketed it in towards shortstop, and Levin gets it off the bat. And the Cardinals threaten a little bit, but leave a man aboard. It's scoreless as we go to the bottom of the third. Back here, bottom 3, Evan Biddle has just allowed 2 base runners so far. 2 walks, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and has gotten into and out of those situations there. So Biddle's been rocking and rolling, mixing up his locations. He's got a great fastball. He's dialed in right now, Doug.
Listen, he knows he's got to mix it up, try to give these guys different looks. He's stoic. I mean, he's a guy that, he aspires to being the fire sciences, so like firefighting and the rest of it. This is a guy that he's stone cold, man. He's stone cold, so I don't think that he fears any lineup, and I think that's always how he kind of approaches things on the mound, just business. But you talk to him off the field, one of the nicest guys that you'll ever connect with.
2-0 pitch now on Dylan Mendel. You've heard about those great competitors on the field. They have a way of just getting all dialed in, whatever position they're playing, whatever they're hitting, or so forth. And Biddle's got that pedigree. 3-1 now on Mendel.
What'll be interesting is to see how Margate adjusts the approach to the plate second time through the lineup, right? Because, I mean, right now he's keeping the lineup at bay. It has 31 home runs, 196 RBIs, and scored 214 runs. If you look across the board, that's double of what the Northfield production is in the regular season. So Biddle doesn't seem to be bothered by any of the pomp and circumstance.
He's working quickly here. The 3-2 bounced over to shortstop. And a tight play over there at first base and a good throw by the Cardinals shortstop, Justin Epifanio, to retire Mendel for out number 1. The wind picks up a little bit more here at Margate City. Donnie Stone, the hitter, handling the catching duties tonight for the Hurricanes. Biddle dials it in upstairs. It's 1-0.
Donnie Stone coming to the dish with a 349 batting average in 2023.
That one misses low. It's almost like so far that Biddle's given, not intentionally, almost like a couple courtesy pitches in some of these at-bats in the first 2 and a third where he's trying to find that location that he wants, maybe get guys to chase Doug, and then eventually dials himself back into the count like that.
Yeah, and the thing is from what I've been following, he and Shapiro have not really repeated a sequence yet. So if you're a Margate batter and you're trying to share information, these dudes are very aware of the fact that they're maybe looking for a pattern, and they're not willing to give it up just yet.
That one hit over to shortstop. Epifanio fires.
My
and
goodness.
There's 2 away.
Justin Epifanio, one of the veterans over there for the Northfield Cardinals. I mean, he just continues to dazzle and show off the leather.
Check it out here in the Gamechanger replay.
I mean, that's just a good jab step. Put himself in a position to throw, make sure that he's able to do so, comes over the top on the run. And
Little Jeter-esque.
Yeah, and the A-grade mustache.
Yeah, that's impressive. Here's Nolan Charlton, walked in his first plate appearance. It's a foul off the roof of the fencing behind the plate. Charlton eventually advanced to second, was stranded there after 3 consecutive pop-ups in the first inning. 2 away here in the third. That one misses.
Charlton, part of the Margate tradition and history. His older brother, Ed, has played quite a few years in the Margate Hurricanes uniform himself. So Nolan growing up, being a few years behind him, very familiar with the kind of meaning and kind of, I would say, he's been exposed to the longer term tradition. People that are familiar with the prior league being a part.
Swing and a miss.
I call it the rite of passage being in the summer. And I think for Nolan this week, he kind of saw firsthand that he got caught up a little bit in some of the craziness that can kind of boil over.
Yep.
And, this is about growing into men in this league. And I think Nolan
maturing.
I think Nolan took a big step in that on that path this week. And I know that he was struggling a little bit with it. I talked to him before the game. Not going to get too far into it, but these are 2 teams that they know each other more ways than one, and I think sometimes things can get a little bit too far, over the line. And I think Nolan is kind of one of those guys that kind of sat there. He's like,
Called strike 3. Charlton doesn't like it, but it ends the inning in a 1-2-3 for Evan Biddle and the Cardinals as we go to the 4th, scoreless here in game 1. We go to the top of the 4th inning here in this championship game. 1 See manager Joe Bunting of the Northfield Cardinals. He's got his team evenly matched here with the Margate Hurricanes. Good pitching, good defense, and they got the talent they need to possibly win this thing. It'll be Juan Mejia, the DH, leading things off in the fourth. Hits that over to third. It's a hot shot. From the hot corner, the throw gets Mejia from Pasquale, and there's one away.
That Pasquale makes it look easy. Can of corn. Gets it across the diamond there, and
See Mejia a little disappointed. Thought he had enough on that off the bat to where it would roll down the line, but Pasquale right there to grab it. Here's Nate Turner, struck out swinging to end things in the first inning. Second at bat of the night here against Kinzel. Hit off the top of the screen behind the fence. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Nate Turner, another guy, middle of the road on base percentage, but he's come up clutch, one of the left-handed bats in this Northfield lineup. And when you're facing a righty with a little bit of heat, it's a nice recipe. Try to get things going.
Kinzel gets a sign. Deals the 0-1 in the dirt. And the count 1-1 on Turner.
Yeah, Joe Bunting's over at third. I kind of made mention of, Nolan Charlton kind of growing up and being part of the tradition. So he's well aware, just like Joe is. But again, these are guys that, love to play ball, love to be a part of what a real rivalry is.
That one rocketed foul down the third base line.
And, Joe's in a tough position as being the guy that's a leader of the league. Cause you're sitting here in Margate and summer people that know baseball, know kind of what tradition kind of was and things that were done over, decades. And then Joe had a vision of trying to, build things out to help more of a younger generation. He's dumped a lot of his own money into this league, and he takes a lot of heat for it, which is kind of weird to me. And truth be told, transparently, my cards face up on the table. I mean, as BFA, we're not here for free. But what we are here for is to, give a valuable product, one that these young student athletes can kind of use, both, current and future athletes, to get exposure. It doesn't matter if it's a college around the corner or if it's a college that's across the country. And deep down, I mean, that's what Joe is truly about. Like I've had an opportunity to know him now for, quite a few years. And when you're the boss and you're still managing a team, people can sit there and say it's about conflict, it's about this, it's about that. But it's about giving these guys a platform and making it affordable for families. And if that's a bad thing, then I'm like super confused about all that, because we talk about all the time, the more sponsors we could get involved to get more people, opportunities, do more live streams, show more kids, show more of these players, the better. But as of yet, for the first couple of years, it usually comes down to him. So, it's tough. Listen, when you put yourself in the position to be the top dog, and when you do, people are going to love you or they're going to hate you.
That one swung on and missed. Turner down on strikes for out number 2.
But when you see a local, man that doesn't play the game anymore, doesn't have any kids in the league, and has daughters, how can you kind of fault a guy for trying to help build out a better product and to try to take it to the next level? So
love of the game.
Some people have no idea what it is that I'm talking about right now, but for me, I feel very blessed that I know a lot of these guys as men on both teams and both dugouts. And I think some regrettable things have kind of played out. And it's not just about this week, but I think it's about the last couple of years. And I have a lot of love and respect for all these guys that are involved. And, talking to Joe and talking to Nolan, who happen to be kind of two figureheads and some things, and good fun, I guess.
A hot shot over to second base and a quick 1-2-3 innings for Kinzel and company for Margate. It is still scoreless. We got a pitcher's duel here in game number 1.
Yeah, and just before we go to break, I'll finish, some of those thoughts. So, you got a lot of good guys that have a lot of good intentions, and I think some things that kind of happened that should have been fun, should have been taken, certain ways, probably weren't, and I think, and rightfully so. But the good news is we got a lot of great guys that are in the South Jersey landscape of baseball. I'm proud that BFA has been able to play a role in that, and we do it for high school, we do it for some local colleges, and now we do it for the South Jersey South Shore Baseball League. So I'm really kind of hoping, no pun intended, that once the season kind of ends, cooler heads can kind of get around the table and maybe start sharing some different ideas about how we can all work together a little bit better and collectively and promote the game in a better way. And you can't do it alone. It's not about one guy. It's not about one business. It's not about one team. It's about sharing ideas, sharing resources, and making sure that we all know that we're all stewards in time. So we all love the game just as much, but we need the guys that come behind us to do it bigger and better than what we've done. And that all starts here. So I think setting a good example and being able to shake hands and show some love and apologize when you need to and set the stage and the tone for some of these kids that are coming up, that's what's really important. So tip of the cap to both these squads for getting here, and I'm really excited, looking forward to what should be a pretty awesome and at times chippy baseball extravaganza for the rest of this week.
Competition and love of the game, all dialed in, grouped in together. We go to the bottom of the fourth here. Monty Strickland leading things off against Evan Biddle, who's held the Hurricanes hitless thus far, and that one's inside. Strickland had a really well-struck fly ball out to left center in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1 in the day. Has a hot shot off the screen above the plate, and it's 1-1. Strickland, Fitzgerald, and Knott for the Hurricanes here in the bottom of the fourth. Game 1 of the South Jersey South Shore Championship from Margate City tonight in Northfield tomorrow night. And the 1-1 from Biddle. Catches the outside corner, 1-2. Talked about it last inning a little bit as well, Doug. Evan Biddle's been in cruise control so far.
Yeah, he's just mixing it up. I mean, he continues to hit his spots and frustrate some batters.
As Strickland learns again there, he's 0 for 2 following the strikeout. There's just that competitiveness about Evan Biddle on the mound, where he's just able to dial it in and drown out the outside noise or anything else happening, and he's so far so good. Eric Fitzgerald popped out to third in his first at-bat. Second at-bat, it's a hot shot into left field, and that's a base hit, the first hit of the game from Margate. Here with one out in the bottom of the fourth, and it's a single to left by the right fielder Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald, the pride of Mary Washington, able to deliver here to try to jumpstart this offense.
Chris Nunn now takes a turn, handling the DH duties tonight. Double play depth up the middle for Northfield. Pitch misses away, and Swain on the just outside the lip of the infield grass over at third base. And Turner holding on the runner, Fitzgerald at first, the 1-0. And now 2-0 on Knott. And after that 2-0 offering, Shapiro wants a word with Evan Biddle. Following the strikeout, the single, and now a 2-0 count.
Well, it's like one of those things, right? Familiarity. These guys know each other like the back of their hand. So, Shapiro might be kind of seeing things either way that Biddle's reacting in between pitches, or he's just kind of seeing maybe some of the movement isn't exactly what it should be. So he's maybe just telling him, like, hey, listen, don't hold back. Snap that thing down. I got you.
Let's see if they try to induce the ground ball double play here. Pitch. 2-1 now.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Epifanio pacing back and forth between the second base bag and his shortstop position. And Ewing over at second base, anticipating a possible steal and awaiting a double play ground ball. That one misses outside. 3-1 the count now on Knott. Fitzgerald leads off first with one out here in the bottom of the fourth. Misses outside. Fitzgerald a trot down to second following the walk to Knott.
Well, this may cue a mound visit relatively soon, right? You got a little bit of a younger guy. It's kind of a big spot. You know that this Hurricane offense is potent, and you can only think like, okay, well, when's the hit going to come? And you try to avoid that gate opening up.
Try and contain him. Here's Jason Law. Rockets that one down the line and foul.
You can tell by Law's reaction. He knew that he had that one, but just a little out in front.
Jumped out in front of the fastball offering. Feliz, he was grabbing his shoulder on the way back in. Could just be stretching.
Yeah. Law is a natural pull hitter. Like, you're going to see a lot of those things, and that's kind of like some of his fundamentals of hitting. He knows that the ball comes inside, he's turning on it.
The 0-1. High pop-up, foul territory. Heading near the fence to make the catch is Swain, and a big second out for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's going to beat himself up a little bit with that. Front side came open a little bit too much there. But, credit to the battery of Biddle and Shapiro, because they saw him rope one down the right field line, so they decided to take it outside on him, and he got those hips open up, ball popped up, and just enough real estate here. And not a lot of real estate at the short. You got to think about, you put a baseball field out here. What's that worth on the open market?
Yeah. Pitch outside to Pasquale. And credit to Swain there as well, Doug. I mean, I know we're sort of at a point in the night where we got more clouds and any sunset here, but Swain tracked that the whole way, knew where the fence was. The 1-0 fouled off the screen. Biddle struck out Strickland to start things in the bottom of the fourth, and a hit by Fitzgerald, the first of the game for Margate, and then a walk to Knott before Law popped out just a moment ago. Scoreless here, bottom of the fourth of the game one. Pitch, little check swing, and he went around for strike number 2.
They've done their homework. Pasquale is arguably the most productive hitter in this lineup. 4 home runs, 28 hits.
First and second, 2 out. Biddle, pitch in the dirt. Tried to get Pasquale to chase one there.
Yeah, I love Jimmy Pasquale's story. When he was a kid, he was like that 11, 12-year-old that was a little bit, a little bit heavy on the lower half, known to be a bigger kid, worked his ass off to become just one heck of an athlete. Did tremendous things, the Holy Spirit for Coach Steve Normain, and now, playing baseball at the highest level. And even now, it's like he's battled through some injuries. Like, I think he broke his wrist and something went on with his knee. The dude just absolutely never stops. Very few guys you'll find that love the game as much as this kid.
Merry-go-round will go here, 3-2, 2 outs, and the bases are loaded following a walk to Pasquale. So bases loaded, 2 outs. Brody Levin, the hitter. Sturkel looking in the second inning. And the first real trouble for Evan Biddle and company, and that'll induce another mound visit here with Gavin Shapiro going out to the mound.
It's kind of interesting. So they're huddling up inside. We talk about kind of these teams knowing one another. I think it's pretty interesting from a strategy standpoint that Bunting is not going out to the mound just yet.
Trusting his guys.
Well, when he does, the other dugout will definitely be getting a little bit more chatty. It's just nature of the beast. It's like one of the best parts of this rivalry.
19 pitches for Evan Biddle this inning, the most so far in this game. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Power is won by Levin for strike number 1. Levin conferring with the umpire, asking if there would have been a strike.
I've seen that happen a little bit so far tonight. A lot of guys looking back to the umpire asking for some advice.
Popped up. Feliz has a beat on it in right field and snags it. And Biddle works into and out of a bases-loaded jam with 2 outs in the fourth to keep it scoreless here in game 1. Still looking for the first run. Who's going to get it? We're going to the 5th.
Serving the community since 2008, the Bunting Family Pharmacy, located in Northfield, aims to provide a wide variety of compounded and traditional medications to doctors and patients in Atlantic, Cape May, and the surrounding South Jersey counties. We are staffed by 4 New Jersey board-certified technicians and a fleet of delivery drivers servicing both residential and business customers 6 days a week.
The Bunting Family Pharmacy. We bring the pharmacy home to you.
Give us a call or visit us at buntingfamilypharmacy.com.
To the top of the fifth we go. Fans watching a pitcher's duel here. Just 3 hits for the Cardinals, 1 for the Hurricanes. A couple walks. Both pitchers have worked into and out of a little bit of trouble. Biddle, 21 pitches in that bottom of the 4th inning. Kinzel back out there facing this tough Cardinals order now, as you see Coach Joe Bunting hoping for a little bit of offense from his Cards. It'll be Gavin Shapiro starting things off here in the top of the 5th, be followed by Justin Clemick and C.J. Brown. And that one misses low and away to Shapiro, who singled in his first at-bat in the 2nd inning and was left stranded at second base. And the 1-0. Bowling balls to the backstop. It's 2-0. Cardinals hitters, especially near the bottom of the order here, and a little bit more patient with Kinzel, looking to see what he's got, where he's planning to go. The 2-0. Misses outside, and Shapiro's in control here with a 3-0 count. Kinzel steps off the mound, walks around to gather himself. Looking to fire a strike and get back in the count. 3-0 to Shapiro. High upstairs and a 4-pitch walk to start things in the 5th.
The Shapiro kind of had strategy on his mind. It seemed like, one way or the other, I got to get over to first base, set the table, and guess what? Felice is your last batted out.
So he'll be pinch running again, as he did back in the 2nd inning.
All right, so we're towards the bottom part of this lineup, but Joe Bunting is known for his small ball strategy, bottom half of the lineup, so I would be shocked if we don't see it here.
Clemick grounded to short in his first at-bat, takes a strike. Felice staying put. Pasquale on the lip of the infield grass over at third. The Hurricanes playing double play depth up the middle.
Yep.
So there's a huge hole at shortstop, and right next to Levin. Kinzel delivers high upstairs, and it's 1-1.
I will tell you one thing. Squaring up the bunt with the heat that Kinzel's throwing is not for the faint of heart.
No. That's going to be a rocket off the bat. The 1-1. That's a dribbler up the first baseline. It'll at least advance the runner. Now it's an infield single.
Well, I think if you're an architect, you couldn't have designed one any better than that. I mean, you're looking to advance the runner, not give up the double play. Now they got runners at first and second on that, seeing eye single. Dare we say?
I mean, it was. I think Kinzel was looking up at Law there to figure, like, you got it, and then Kinzel went to go pick it up. But by that time, Clemick was on first. So now first and second, nobody out for the Cardinals.
Well, everybody in the world knows what's about to happen right here with C.J. Brown.
Struck out looking in his first at bat. Kinzel paying high attention to Feliz. That one hit up to short.
Oh,
and booted.
Oh, no.
Charlton picks it up, though, and turns the double play.
Are you kidding me? Kick save and a beauty. Nolan Charlton in the right spot at the right time. He was going to the bag regardless, and then it just off the heel. Levin, Charlton able to keep his focus and turn the DP anyway. My, oh my. Championship baseball at its best.
Turned a possible bases loaded, no out situation into a 2-out situation. Feliz hanging off third. Rackets now the hitter. Cardinals still have an opportunity to drive in the game's first run. Rackets get strike one called and 0-1.
Couple of violent high teammates trying to hook up here with Feliz down at third. Rackets trying to bring him home.
Rackets 0 for 1, struck out looking in the third. Feliz hanging off third, not being held on. Pasquale playing normal depth as that one fouled off by Rackets, and it's 0-2.
Still trying to go low and away on the kid.
Levin playing closer to the second base bag than his normal position over there at shortstop, leaving a huge hole for Rackets to get a single to left center. Jason Law playing all the way back at first base. The 0-2. Fastball misses away.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
See, this is where it's interesting because you got a speedster in Feliz. So does he stay? I'm staying on the gas if I'm him right here, not risking some crazy breaking ball going somewhere it shouldn't.
I think it would have to go up the line somewhere, and there's too little room in the backstop. Pitch. Hit into left field, and that's a base hit. RBI single for Rackets as Feliz touches home, and it's 1-0 Cardinals.
The diaper dandy, Anthony Rackets, getting it done. I just said, you're going to stay on the gas. You're going to try to give him a fastball, and you'll just see him get a good piece of that old hickory wood right into left field. We got ourselves a first run of the ball game.
Back to the top of the order now with Justin Epifanio. Hit by a pitch, grounded into a 4-3. Still 2 outs. The Redbirds up 1-0. And that one's popped off the fencing behind the plate, and it's 0-1. But credit again to Rackets, just going pitch, diving away, and just going with it, and full barrel in the left center.
Yeah, learn from it. It was like they're going away, and he was thinking they got to come back in, and they did.
Rackets with the lead off at first. The 0-1 pitch to Epifanio, grounded over to second. Charlton's got it, fires over to first, and that'll do it. But the Cardinals draw first blood. They lead 1-0 on the RBI single by Anthony Rackets. We go to the bottom of the 5th here in Game 1. Go to the bottom of the 5th here. Anthony Rackets, the big RBI single in the top of the 5th to drive in Feliz, the pinch runner for Shapiro. And that's as clutch as you can get in a scoreless game in a pitcher's duel, Doug. Anthony Rackets coming up big so far.
Well, they always say about how big the first game of a series is, right? Because it's like that home field advantage. You got Northfield that's on the road at Margate, so you try to bring the advantage back to you, especially being the 3 seed. And I'm not saying that this is the case because it's only the bottom of the 5th. We got a lot of baseball, but for a kid like that in his first, championship series experience amongst the talent that's on the field right now, that'll be a moment he'll remember for quite a while.
Sam Daggers, Dylan Mendel, Donnie Stone for the Hurricanes here in the bottom of the 5th against Biddle. That one rocketed into left field. That's a leadoff single for Daggers.
Man, if you're a fan of the Baseball Performance Center over there in Pleasantville, you're familiar with Sam Daggers. He is a student of the game. He puts in the work, and that was some loud wood right there.
He came up looking to hit. Here's Dylan Mendel, and Daggers struck out swinging in the second. Mendel grounded to short. And the Cardinals will play double play depth here. There's a strike to Mendel. Swain playing about normal depth over at third. And then, of course, you have Epifanio and Ewing playing double play depth up the middle. That one misses just inside the count. 1-1 now on the Hurricanes left fielder.
Another thing I think as we see here, because the way that both Margate, Jerome Avenue Park, and Birch Grove Park are set up, like, it's unnerving to have guys like us sitting here talking about, like, we're legitimately, just so people understand, we're like
right on
12
top of the action.
feet from the batter's box right now. So, like,
2-2 on Mendel.
So you're trying to focus on pitches. The umpire's trying to focus on the ball. And I mean, if you can block it out, great. But harder than it would appear, I can assure you.
The 2-2. rocketed off the screen. I don't think he got upset there, Doug. Just fired one in our direction.
I don't know, but it was
Foul
funny.
ball.
Yeah, it was funny because you kind of get the gist of it between pitches. Like Jason Law was up there, he fouled the one to right field, and he obviously turned around
and smirked
yeah,
at us.
because he was just like, yeah.
2-2 with Daggers leading off first. And now he's going. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. Not in time. And a good scoop, though, by the second baseman, Ewing, to prevent it from going into center field.
Yeah, Daggers showing off the wheels there. Getting the uniform dirty. And that's a big spot down 1 run.
And Mendel down swinging. That'll bring up Donnie Stone. Grounded to short in his first at-bat in the 3rd inning. So back to normal depth a little bit. Ewing playing just off the second base bag, and the shortstop Epifanio playing a little to the left of the shortstop hole. There's a big hole between the shortstop Epifanio and the third baseman Swain. Runner on second. Pitch outside. Nolan Charlton up next for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, so you talk about difference of personalities in some of these teams. Northfield willing to go probably more old school, play small ball where they need to. These guys, you're not going to see that in Margate. They're not going to play small ball towards the bottom half of the lineup to try to move a runner.
High fly ball into center. Going back towards the track and the wall, making the catch is Rackets. Fires it into the infield. Heading towards third base on the sac fly is Daggers.
Yeah, that ball looked like it went down. I know it was deep. They're telling them to stay on the base. There's a little bit of a debate of whether or not that ball was caught.
Check it out in the Gamechanger replay.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly looked like Rackets had a beat on it.
So the umpires, there's
Let's see, Rackets there to the left of your
it definitely got down on the ground.
Dropped in. I stand corrected.
Here's the other challenge of it all, kids. We're here for entertainment purposes only, so our video is not official, as we'll call it. But it's the lights. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you look out here from where we're sitting. Yeah, so they did give them credit for the double, and Donnie Stone waves to the dugout. But get on the umps all you want, but like, we're looking out toward left field. That is a dark corner out in left center.
Some conversation, some sidebars still going on with a couple of players, umpires, coaches.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, a double for Donnie Stone, and right now it's second and third, 1 out. Here's Nolan Charlton. Walked in the first, struck out looking in the third, and Evan Biddle in another jam here in the 5th.
And Nolan Charlton playing some outstanding defense here early to back up his pitcher. And I'm sure he'd love nothing more than to register a big RBI to help out his pitcher on the other side of the coin.
Biddle trying to slow things down here, gather himself. Out of a big pitch and a big at-bat. He's got Charlton here, Monty Strickland up next. Just 1 out. Strikeout to Mendel a couple moments ago. And the 1-0. This is outside.
Yeah, for BFA fans, you're kind of used to like more of I call it a sharper angle, which would be like closer to second base from the outfield. But the way that the Margate field is set up, there's like a 3-story wall out there. So it's about the only place you can stick a camera.
Right. Pitch twists Charlton around, and it's 3-0, and Biddle in a dangerous count here. Runners lead second and third, 1 out. Cardinals scored a run in the top of the 5th. Break things open on the Rackets RBI single. 3-0 from Biddle. And the bases are loaded. Charlton draws the walk. Bases loaded now for Monty Strickland. Flew out to left field in the first, struck out swinging in the 4th.
Well, it's the old, we're headed down the lineup for the 3rd time, right? And at every level of baseball, that's where, as a manager, you start to have to make a tough decision about, do you want them to see your guy a 3rd time? But sometimes it happens to go with like, well, how comfortable are you with what options that you have? If we look at the Gamechanger box score, 4 1/3 inning pitch. He's only surrendered to 3 hits, 5 Ks, 5 walks, 83 pitches, 46 for strikes.
Almost about even. There was some action going on in the Northfield bullpen. We'll see how long Biddle lasts in this one. That one outside. And that's 5 straight out of the zone for Biddle. And the walks, Doug, could be his kryptonite if Margate cashes in here.
And listen, if you're Margate, you have to make them pitch to you.
The 1-0. High pop-up. It's heading into foul territory. Swain. Infield fly rule called as Swain makes the catch, and a big second out for the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's huge. And second out of the inning, Swain continuing to pick up some, we call it big plays. And I'm telling you right now, down here by the shore at twilight with the lights on, that is not for the faint of heart, that play.
Bases remain loaded. 2 outs now. Eric Fitzgerald, the hitter. Popped out to Swain back in the first and foul territory. Singled in the fourth. Looks at a ball there. Evan Biddle pulled a Houdini act in the fourth inning where he threw 21 pitches. He's at 16 right now. Here in the fifth. Margate with its biggest threat of the night so far offensively. Locked in a pitcher's duel for the first 4 innings, and then the Cardinals broke through in the top half. Margate looking to mirror that here in the bottom half. High upstairs, and it's 2-0, and a scary ball whiz goes by Fitzgerald. Northfield infield playing back. 2 outs. And a 2-0 pitch. Low, nowhere to put him. It's 3-0 on the Hurricanes right fielder with the bases loaded. Cardinals leading game 1 of this South Jersey South Shore Championship 1-0. Evan Biddle looking to give Joe Bunting 5 innings.
3 balls, no strikes. Let's go, baby.
And trying to keep it scoreless. The 3-0. And the bases remain loaded, and the game tied at 1 following a bases-loaded walk to Fitzgerald.
Hey, patience paying off for the Margate Hurricanes, and that's a little bit of a different page out of their approach to the hitting strategy. I mean, these guys are free swingers. Like I said, 214 runs, 196 RBIs, and it looks like Joe Bunting going to make a change here in game number 1 of the championship series.
So 4 2/3 from Biddle.
So Biddle makes his way off, but a very strong outing against this lineup here.
So pitching change for Northfield as the Margate Hurricanes have tied the game at 1 on a bases-loaded walk. 6 walks for Biddle in this one, and Mike Burnley on in relief. Tossing some warm-ups there, trying to get the Cardinals out of a bases-loaded jam with 2 outs. I mean, I think it goes without saying to some degree, Doug, that if it weren't even for half those walks, the Cardinals wouldn't be in this situation. Biddle, outside those walks, looked really sharp.
No, he did. And, Epifanio playing strong defense behind him over there at shortstop, getting it done. He was on the same page with his catcher in Gavin Shapiro. Listen, man, before the inning started, I was like, hey, when you go through the lineup for the 3rd time at any level, that is a tall task. And I think for the Cardinal team, they got exactly what they needed out of Biddle. And something that's kind of worked is a tag team between he and Burnley. Like, that's got them a far way through the playoffs. And this is something he's coming in. He needs 1 out, and it's at any base. And that's going to be the mentality for the St. Augustine Prep.
His first assignment will be Chris Knott. Flew out to right field in the first inning, walked in the 4th inning. And Feliz backing up just a little bit over there in right field. So bases remain loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Northfield, RBI single by Rackets in the top of the 5th, put the Cardinals up. And a bases loaded walk to Fitzgerald tied it up here in the bottom of the 5th. Burnley on in relief, his first pitch, swing and a miss. Not down in the count, 0-1. Burnley coming out of the pen, firing. The 0-1. Just misses a little bit low in the count 1-1.
You look at not spray chart on Gamechanger, and he is a pole-to-pole type of hitter.
The 1-1 offering from Burnley misses inside again. It's 2-1.
2-1.
Big at bat for Chris Knott here in the bottom of the 5th. Opportunity to put the Hurricanes up by a couple. Misses inside, 3-1.
417 batting average, 580 on base percentage, 1330 OPS. Oof. This is the guy, if you're Margate, you feel really comfortable with in this situation with the bases loaded.
And the 3-1 from Burnley. Base is loaded again, and another run scores on back-to-back walks. So the Hurricanes have plated a pair here in the bottom of the 5th with the assist of a couple walks, and they lead 2-1 here in Game 1.
Well, power lineup continues.
That'll bring up Jason Law, grounded out to first in the 2nd inning, popped out to 3rd in the 4th. Facing Burnley for the first time here in the bottom of the 5th. Rocketed foul down the first baseline.
Law comes into the contest, 406 batting average. 2 home runs.
Burnley looking to avoid further damage here in the 5th. The pitch. Breaking ball misses upstairs, 1-1. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Burnley. That one misses outside again.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Burnley looking to put out the fire here in the bottom of the 5th. Walks have gotten the Cardinals into trouble. 2-1 Hurricanes. Pitch. There's a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded here in the bottom of the 5th. Again, the Hurricanes have plated a couple on back-to-back walks. Law, the hitter. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss.
Big
Burnley
spot
strikes
there.
out Law.
Burnley coming up clutch, trying to get himself out of the jam, limit the damage. So they're going to be down 2-1, but Cardinals going to have a chance to answer back here on BFA.
Top of the 6th inning we go, and got a full moon up there as we sit here and watch Game 1 of the championship from Margate City. And it seemed like a full moon kind of bottom of the 5th and a nightmarish for Northfield, and it could have been a whole lot worse, Doug.
Well, this game has a cast of characters in more ways than one, so no surprise that it would be on a full moon setting.
Brett Ewing, Chase Swain, Juan Mejia for the Cardinals as they look to even things back up, and then some here in the top of the 6th. Ewing singled, was caught stealing in the first, singled in the third. He's 2 for 2. Tries, offers to bunt, pulls back, takes strike 1.
Trying to set the table. You got to go, you got to do jab for jab. It's almost like a little bit of a boxing or an MMA bout that we'd see maybe with our friends over at Cage Fury fighting. Try to take him off his game a little bit, get him to do something he doesn't want to do.
The 0-1 bowling ball to the plate. It's 1-1. And we've seen some of that small ball or some of that type of thinking from Joe Bunting and the Cardinals tonight. We had that hit and run earlier in the game. Didn't lead to a run, but it certainly moved the guys around the bases. So we'll see what happens here. 1-1 to Ewing. Another bowling ball. It's 2-1. Thing that, though, Doug, Jake Kunzel has bound, but he hasn't broken tonight. He's gotten into and out of some trouble against the Cardinals, but he's now in favor 2-1. And it's a 2-1 offering. Ewing cracks it foul. Cardinals have threatened in just about every inning but the 4th against Kunzel. And he's kept him off the scoreboard outside that RBI single by Anthony Rackets in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, I mean, Kinzel's only thrown 69 pitches. His pitch 70 right here.
And a hot shot foul as Ewing is putting together an at-bat here to begin the 6th.
And for Northfield, this is what they have to do. As this game goes on, they got to make Kinzel work a little bit. The dude has tremendous stamina. He's throwing games left and right, 110, 115 plus pitches.
Once again, the 2-2.
In round 2 against the Surf, that's what it had taken. It was late in the game when they were finally able to, find a crack because he was solid through six innings plus of work.
It's a battle here. Kunzel and Ewing, the 3-2. Hot shot over to third. Sjssbl fires a strike over to Law, and there's out number 1 here in the 6th.
Good approach at the plate. Ends up pounding it into the ground, and good shuffle step there by Jimmy Pasquale to Law for the putout and avoid getting a leadoff base runner in the inning.
Chase Swain, now the hitter, walked in the first, grounded out to short, and in the third, check swing there. And umpires check, and it's ball 1. And Swain was able to hold up. He's played gold glove caliber defense, though, at the hot corner tonight.
It's been important. Keep this one as tight as it is.
2-0 now on Swain.
Swain, 854 on base plus slugging. 2 doubles, 2 home runs.
Borderline call that Swain didn't like there. Thought it was ball 3. It's 2-1. 2-1 clips the outside corner, and just like that, Kunzel back in the count at 2-2. 1 out here, top of the 6th. 2-2 up high. Swain's got the count full.
Yeah, Swain's dialed in. He's got that one spot mentality going right now.
Big at bat here in the 6th. It'll be a 3-2. Swing and a miss. On top of the fastball offering from Kunzel, there's 2 away.
Yeah, Kunzel continuing to just dominate in the zone. He's on the same page. He and Donnie Stone kind of playing some military pitching right now. Left, right. And that low and away has been his bread and butter all night long.
That'll bring up Juan Mejia, singled in a hit and run that led Chase Swain to get over to third. He grounded out in the fourth. Whiffs through the first offering from Kinzel here in the sixth.
He just seems to be getting stronger as they're going through this lineup. I mean, as these innings wane on, he's just reaching back.
2 outs here, top six. And Mejia hits it off the screen. That was like a roar of thunder.
Yeah, we got it. That mic, the field mic is right up against the backstop, so anything that hits anything in the metal, you're going to hear it at home.
Gives you an idea about how powerful of a swing Mejia has.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the Cardinals' designated hitter. As Northfield bats here on the top of the sixth, looking to get back the run. They lost in the bottom half of the fifth. And Mejia bends out of the way. It's 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Juan Mejia came into this game with a 292 batting average.
Come on, Juan, let's go. Go, Juan. Come on, baby.
It's 1-2 on the Cardinals cleanup hitter. The pitch. Rocketed over to shortstop. Levin fires. And the Cardinals go down in order here in the top of the sixth as the Hurricanes and Kinzel hold on to a 2-1 lead here in Game 1 of the championship.
Serving the community since 2008, the Bunting Family Pharmacy, located in Northfield, aims to provide a wide variety of compounded and traditional medications to doctors and patients in Atlantic, Cape May, and the surrounding South Jersey counties. We are staffed by 4 New Jersey board-certified technicians and a fleet of delivery drivers servicing both residential and business customers 6 days a week.
The Bunting Family Pharmacy. We bring the pharmacy home to you.
Give us a call or visit us at buntingfamilypharmacy.com.
Bottom of the sixth. Jim Pasquale, Brody Levin, Sam Daggers for the Hurricanes. Mike Burnley, who came on in relief in the bottom of the fifth to get the final out after giving up a walk that put the Hurricanes out in front, back out there. And deals ball 1 to the Hurricanes' third baseman. Walked in the second inning and in the fourth.
If he comes inside to him in this at bat, that ball is not going to land anywhere near here.
Deal strike there. See if Burnley's read that scouting report. The 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Yeah,
Mixes it up and throws it away.
they seem to be wanting to stay away with anything's on the middle half of that plate. Oh, boy.
It's going to faraway places.
You can see he's actually moved up inside the box now.
The 1-2. Thought about it, held back. It's 2-2. Burnley looking to keep it at 2-1. Hurricanes looking for a little bit more. Fouled off the screen. We'll do it again.
Yeah, Pasquale, 406 batting average, 1160 OPS, on base plus slugging.
Pretty good.
Yeah, 3 doubles, 4 dingers.
Once again, the 2-2. Bowling ball, and it's a full count. So the Hurricanes' third baseman is in a little bit of a duel with Mike Burnley.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Cardinals playing him back in the infield. Swing and a miss. Not needed.
Oh, nice pitch by Burnley. Coming back, hits the brakes, and the swing flies right by.
That's how he ended things in the bottom of the 5th. Striking out Jason Law, turns around, strikes out Pasquale.
Yeah, there it is. Just gave him a little bit of a different look, took a little bit of that velo off, and wow.
Here's Brody Levin, struck out looking in the 2nd, flew out to right in the 4th. Smokes it off the fencing behind the plate, and it's 0-1. He's played a nice shortstop tonight for the Hurricanes. The 0-1 offering. Breaking ball, and a nasty one at that off the outside part of the plate, nothing in 2.
Yeah, that there was pretty. I mean, that was we call an admirable pitch. You just admire it. It just goes right by.
The 0-2. Thought about it, held back, nearly went for that cement mixer again. It's 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ball and 2 strikes now, and the Hurricanes shortstop. Even at 2 apiece.
What a vertical break there from Mike Burnley.
Burnley's got some nasty stuff coming out of the pen. And it's a bowling ball, and it's a full count again. Back-to-back full counts from Burnley.
Yeah, he's not holding back in this spot. You know, do everything he can. Not want to give them a base runner already down 1 run.
Trying to get him to chase off the plate. See what he does here on Levin with a full 2 count. Pitch. Chop in front of the plate and called foul. Shapiro went up to grab it, but it just hit the foul marker.
Yeah.
So we'll do it again.
Went off the plate, but to the right of the chalk. It's funny, a lot of baseball fans, every once in a while we run into it. You have to remind them that home plate is in fair territory.
Right.
Just like 2nd, 3rd, 1st. If it hits home plate, it's still a fair base. Because so many times, hit the plate. Okay, well.
Where did it go after that? Yeah. The 3-2. And that's a leadoff walk. Or check that, a 1-out walk for Levin. And the Hurricanes have a base runner here in the 6th. Sam Daggers coming to the plate, struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Singled in the 5th, stole a base, and later crossed home plate to score on a walk.
Yeah, Daggers with the loud barrel line drive back in the 5th.
It was the second hit of the game for the Hurricanes. But an impactful one. 1 on, 1 out. Ooh, that's smoked off the screen and ricochets back toward Burnley.
Daggers going for more pine tar after that one. He is swinging the bat to do bad things.
Looked like he had the scoreboard on his mind. 0-1 the count on the Hurricanes center fielder. Runner going. Pitch upstairs. Throw down to second by Shapiro late. And it's a stolen base for Levin.
Yeah, big spot. Good read there by Levin. Kind of understanding that, hey, pitcher is dialed in with 2-out situation. He goes with a high knee.
Shapiro's got the arm just a little bit late, and I think Levin stole that one off of Burnley.
Yeah.
Runner in scoring position, 1 out, and a 1-1 pitch to Daggers coming. Pitch. That one just misses a little bit upstairs, 2-1. Yeah. Daggers was asking about it, though.
There's confidence dripping right now from Daggers. I mean, he's leaning way back in his stance. Can't really see it from that angle, but I assure you, it kind of has a Schwarber-esque
He's waiting for that pitch
feel.
up in the zone.
Schwarber-esque feel right here.
Levin leading off his second. Burnley gives him a look, now delivers. Check swing. And didn't go, so it's 3-1. And a big pitch for Burnley here. Down 3-1 in the count with a runner in scoring position, and the Hurricanes leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Burnley looks at the runner, now deals. There's a strike to the chagrin of Daggers and surprise, and it's a full count.
The old ball forward but not bat flip. Oh, it's like baseball karma, man. It's gonna look through your fingers now. You can't even bear to watch.
Levin with a big lead off a second. The 3-2. And we'll do it again.
Ooh.
As a battle ensues between Daggers and Burnley.
A good one here.
Dylan Mendel awaits an opportunity next. It's big and important for Burnley here, Doug, to try and get out of this inning, keeping it at 2-1.
Yeah, plus where he's at in the lineup, you got 10, 11 coming up. You want to save that in case you need it.
3-2. Breaking ball, called ball 4. That was a tough one.
Well, they always say it's a pitcher's pitch or a batter's ball, and in that case, it was batter's ball. And Daggers still asking about the last pitch.
A lot of movement.
A lot of baseball etiquette there.
That's a tough one for the Cardinals. First and second, one out. Here's Mendel. Grounded to short in the third, struck out swinging in the fifth. Burnley trying to slow things down here, and Mendel calls time. Already 19 pitches this inning for Burnley, just one out. The pitch. Inside and upstairs, it's 1-0.
Yeah, Burnley's got to start getting ahead in some of these counts, trying to play from behind. It's, again, high pressure, high leverage type of situations. That's difficult scenarios to pitch through.
The 1-0. Misses low and away, 2-0, and Shapiro wants a word with Burnley.
Yeah, he's going to go talk it over, and again, it's a 5-game series, so you also have to manage expectations about how much pitching do you have to get you through a week. So you don't necessarily want to warm up another arm right here, but this game is way within reach. You got 2 outs, get out of the frame, and then try to tie this ball game up or take the lead at least in the next frame. So manager Joe Bunting basically seems as if he's put Burnley on notice. This is your game.
Yeah.
Let's
Nobody
get
up.
it.
First and second, one out for the Hurricanes. 2-0 on Mendel. Pitch. Misses away, and it's 3-0, and Burnley in danger of loading the bases for consecutive innings. And a big knock from Mendel could break this game open. Big pitch coming from Burnley. 3-0. Catches the outside corner and gets the strike he needs. It's 3-1. Donnie Stone up next. Burnley and the Cardinals looking for a double play. It'll be a 3-1. Swing and a miss. Powers a fastball right at the knees, and it's 3-2.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Burnley digging deep, battling back, showing good maturity.
Runners lead first and second, one out here. Bottom of the 6th, Hurricanes 2-1 lead. 2 back-to-back walks in the bottom half gave them the 2 runs in the 5th. Pitch. And the bases are loaded.
Inside.
So 3 consecutive walks following a strikeout here in the bottom of the 6th. And Donnie Stone, now the hitter, grounded to short in the 3rd, doubled in the 5th, was one of the runs that scored in a 5th inning that had Burnley come in out of the bullpen with 2 outs. He walked him in to give the Hurricanes the 2-1 advantage. All the runs have been scored tonight by the Hurricanes via the walk. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pitch to Stone. Misses away. And Burnley's lost the plate again here in the 6th. 27 pitches here in the 6th. Just 1 out to show for it. Nobody up in the Northfield bullpen. That
pitching mound can feel like an island, man. Like Tom Hanks in Castaway. It can feel very lonely out there.
Burnley looking for Wilson.
Yeah, let's hope we got a Wilson 10-10 in his hand. Gonna need some help here.
To the backstop, and a good reaction by Shapiro to get to that to keep the bases loaded. And Burnley can't find the plate here. It's 2-0. A strike at a Pasquale started things, and then walks to Levin, Daggers, and Mendel. The 2-0. Hit off the screen, and a roar of thunder here over the mics. So it's 2-1.
You know, Vin, I'm enjoying it because I'm so used to every once in a while getting that thing coming through the mic. But for you, it's like right in your ears.
Like boom.
You know.
No thunder in the sky, fortunately.
Nah,
but just thunder on the fence here behind the plate.
2 balls, 1 strike.
2-1 on the Hurricanes catcher. Big RBI opportunity for him here. Can really break the game open for the Hurricanes. Pitch. Swing and a miss. And Burnley gets him to chase off the plate. It's 2-2.
Our production staff apparently has seen this episode before. They were a little early on the old graphic there.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded here. Bottom 6. Hurricanes already leading 2-1. The 2-2. We'll do it again as the at-bat continues in Donnie Stone versus Mike Burnley. The walks haven't helped, but the Hurricanes have been fouling off a lot of pitches off Burnley this inning, Doug. He's already at 31 in this half inning, just 1 out. The pitch ensuing. Burnley ready, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Powers a fastball, high cheddar, and a big second out.
Well, like I said, maybe our production staff knew something that we didn't. But he went chasing upstairs, and that was a big second out of the inning.
Back to the top of the order for the Hurricanes and Nolan Charlton. Walked in the first, struck out looking in the third, walked in the fifth. Off for 1 with a pair of walks is the Hurricanes' second baseman. Bases obviously still loaded, now 2 outs. Bottom 6th, game 1 of this championship series, best of 5. Pitch. Catches the outside corner, and it's strike 1 on Charlton. Infield playing back for Northfield. Outfield is as well, the 0-1. Pitch outside. As action gets going in the Northfield bullpen down the first baseline. Burnley's thrown 34 pitches this half inning. See, the Cardinals have some action going.
It's like Ethan Messi warming
This
up
is
out
inside.
there.
2 balls, 1 strike.
He may have to come in sooner than anticipated. Depending on this at bat, it's 2-1 Burnley on Charlton with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Burnley sets and deals. That one misses low and in, says the home plate umpire. It's 3-1.
He tricked them on that one, that's for sure, because Charlton took the deep exhale. He's like, okay, well.
Big pitch here from Burnley. 3-1, bases loaded, 2 outs. 2-1 Margate. And now it's 3-1. 3 runs in this game for Margate, all scored via bases loaded walks. Just patient at bats have put the Hurricanes out in front here in the 5th and the 6th.
Charlton's patience paying off. It's back to walk 3 times tonight.
Monty Strickland, if there's anybody eager for a hit, flew out to left field in the 1st, popped out in the 5th, struck out swinging in the 4th. Bases loaded for him here in the 6th. And a roar of thunder and a foul ball, 0-1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Strickland has a slogan on his shirt that says, "I didn't come here to walk."
Yeah. It's first pitch swinging every at bat tonight, I believe. He's got a quick bat. The 0-1 misses low.
You know, or my other favorite saying, nobody talks about your walks on the way home.
That's true. It's the story of the game for the Margate offense, though.
Hey, patience has paid dividends, and that's not always something that they're really known for. They're usually very aggressive at the plate. So to see them piling up, taking a lot of these pitches, very, very interesting.
2-1 the count now on Strickland. His action has concluded in the Northfield bullpen. Burnley in dangerous pitch territory here. He's thrown 40 pitches here in the 6th. The 2-1. And we'll even it up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, that was pitch number 52. It's 23rd strike. You mentioned it really is the story of the game. There's 11 walks right now between he and Biddle.
5 from Burnley and 6 from Biddle. Other than that, hasn't been a bad pitch pick game. The 2-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. We'll do it again. Strickland looking for his pitch here, looking for something to connect on and drive it to the gap. Anthony Rackets, who caught that fly ball from Strickland back in the first, anticipating something. He's dead central right in his position in left field. We'll do it again. Bases loaded, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th, Margate's added another run here. All 3 runs in this game, the last 2 innings, have come on bases loaded walks. And Burnley steps off. He wants a second to gather himself. Every pitch looms large for Burnley, none bigger than the one here at the moment. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Gets the strikeout and limits the damage to just 1 run here in the 6th after throwing 43 pitches. It is 3-1 Margate in game 1 of this championship as we head to the 7th.
Serving the community since 2008, the Bunting Family Pharmacy, located in Northfield, aims to provide a wide variety of compounded and traditional medications to doctors and patients in Atlantic, Cape May, and the surrounding South Jersey counties. We are staffed by 4 New Jersey board-certified technicians and a fleet of delivery drivers servicing both residential and business customers 6 days a week.
The Bunting Family Pharmacy. We bring the pharmacy home to you.
Give us a call or visit us at buntingfamilypharmacy.com.
To the top of the 7th we go in game 1 of this championship. Margate just 2 hits, but have reached base on 11 walks in this game, and as a result, they lead 3-1. So Northfield looking to keep game one alive here. Nathan Turner, Yohan Feliz, Gavin Shapiro looking to rally the Redbirds. And a strike on Turner, who struck out swinging twice tonight. He's 0 for 2.
Could be last lick, so now what you got to do is try to set the table. Get a guy on, then go to work.
0-1. Kinzel to Turner. Even at 1 apiece. Doug, we said it before. The Cardinals threatened in the early going, getting a couple runners on. They just couldn't play them. And then, the big hit by Rackets.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only high leverage scoring opportunity that they had. And Kinzel's been super efficient. He's 85 pitches in.
The 2-1. Even at 2 apiece. And I think it's become the story of the game because of the pitching. We've said pitchers do it through 4 innings, but Biddle got into trouble. And then really most of those 11 walks between Biddle and Burnley occurred in the 5th and the 6th inning. And it's really been the very definition of why Margate's up 3-1.
Yeah.
And now it's 3-2 on Turner.
Win it now, anyway. Win it.
Game 2 tomorrow night in Northfield over at Birch Grove Park.
7 p.m. first pitch.
The 3-2 to Turner. High pop foul, third base side out of play. And home plate umpire looking for some more baseballs.
Yeah, it's interesting. They don't always come back. And those pearls are not cheap.
Yep.
Those,
The 3-2. Swing and a miss. 1 away here in the 7th.
big spot there for Kinzel.
Tough night for Turner at the plate, 0 for 3 with 3 swinging strikeouts.
Here
So
he
you'll
is.
see the third one in the Gamechanger replay. Fastball tailing away, and Turner's disappointed on the way back to the dugout.
Kinzel's reaction was pretty awesome. He was pretty pumped about that one.
Feliz 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the second, grounded at second base in the 4th inning. Served as a pinch runner a couple times. That one swung on and missed. Just on top of that fastball offering, too quick, and it's 0-1. Feliz scored the lone run for the Cardinals, pinch running for Shapiro. Back in the 5th inning when Anthony Rackets had an RBI single to left. The 0-1 in the dirt. Feliz has played a pretty nice right field, come up with a couple big-time catches over there. He's got the wheels if he can get on here. The 1-1. Check swing, held up. 2-1.
Win it now. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Feliz takes a deep breath, trying to gather himself here before a big pitch. And it'll be a 2-1. Swing and a miss. Nothing but fastballs, nothing but heat.
Kinzel and Stone have made the decision they're just going to challenge these guys. Going to go right at them. Don't try to do anything fancy.
The 2-2. Check swing. Did he go around? Able to hold up. Thinking it's ball 4. Reminded that it's ball 3. So now it's a full count on Feliz. The traditional 3-pitch walk, Doug.
Yeah. We've seen a couple batters now.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Saw that yesterday out in PA.
Yeah. Yeah.
3-2 now. The count on Feliz. Chopped to third. Pasquale. If the race is on to first, and Feliz thrown out for out number 2. Cardinals down to their final out.
Yeah, Feliz has plus speed, but he turned on that one pretty hard. Got it past Squall before he could blink and shuffle step, make that throw.
Shapiro now the hitter, singled in the 2nd. Walked in the 5th. Cardinals' final hope here in game 1. upstairs. Misses away. Shapiro being patient here in the 7th.
Need a base runner, C1.
2-0 the count. Pitch. Fastball clips the outside corner.
Need you on now.
Northfield
2 balls, 1
fighting
strike.
to get one on.
Two and one on Shapiro.
Ball, baby.
And a bowling ball in there. It's 3-1 on the Cardinals catcher. Justin Klemick awaiting an opportunity up next. 3-1. Hot shot down the right field line. Foul into the seats.
A couple fans over there.
Oh, there you go. The race is on for that souvenir foul ball.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, it'll be a souvenir for maybe a minute or two. Umpires need that baseball back.
2 strikes.
Cardinals down to their final strike. It's 3-2, 2 outs here in the 7th. Shapiro extends the game.
Let me check it out.
This is just where you try to bear down, fight your way on base.
Cardinals have 5 hits tonight. The 3-2. Ball 4, and Shapiro walks to keep the Cardinals alive.
You guys, first step, let's go.
And what's very interesting is in this spot, one of the key players that I had forgot to mention, I don't know how, is Cole Fowler, the top producing player in this Cardinal lineup, not able to be here tonight, but that's a big spot.
Klemick 1 for 2 with a single and a grounder to short. Shapiro off first. Klemick quickly in the hole, 0-1. As Jake Kinzel looks to finish off a strong outing here in Game 1. Shapiro with a short, smart lead over at first. The 0-1. Off the screen, quickly 0-2. Cardinals again down to their final strike.
Klemick coming in with a 227 batting average, 370 on base percentage.
Fight.
It'll be an 0-2. Called strike 3, and Margate takes Game 1.
Well, strong finish follows up the strong start there. They didn't have any answers tonight for the starting pitcher in Jake Kinzel. His absolute dominant performance was the difference, coupled with the patience of the Hurricane batters. They take game number 1 as you look at the game summary powered by Gamechanger.
Cardinals 1 run, 5 hits, the big one for them. Anthony Rackett's RBI single back in the 5th inning. The Hurricanes 3 hits. But, Doug, all 3 of their runs, we talked about it throughout the course of the game, 11 walks issued between Evan Biddle and Mike Burnley, and that was the turning point of the game, and that was the definition of how the Hurricanes scored all their offense. Not much contact.
Now work the lineup, recognize what your situations are, play good team ball. And, listen, it's Game 1, but the best part about it is tomorrow night, Game 2, Birch Grove Park. Can't be there? Tune on in. BFA live stream.
We got you covered. Looking forward to an exciting rest of the series. Game 1 belongs to the Margate Hurricanes. Northfield Cardinals look to bounce back tomorrow night. Again, Game 2 from Birch Grove Park in Northfield. And we'll see you then for all of our crew, all of our team here at BFA Sports. Thanks for joining us tonight for Game 1 of the championship. I'm Vin Ebenu. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.